Hi everyone, and welcome to the final episode of Shmee's Top Supercars. Let me just take this opportunity to thank you all for watching this far into the series. It's been great fun reading all of your comments, and thank you very much for taking the time. You won't be surprised to know what car it is today though. It's the Aston Martin One-77. Obviously, as an Aston owner, I am absolutely, personally obsessed with the 177. It is beautiful, it is gorgeous, it is absolutely stunning. My first introduction to the car, though, was at the Aston Martin London dealership in early 2010. One of my earliest videos, they had one of the prototype cars there on display. It wasn't perfect seeing it behind closed windows, but such is life. That was long before I was an Aston owner. The 177 has a 7.3 litre naturally aspirated V12. It's 750 horsepower, which makes it the fastest production naturally aspirated engine. It has performance figures like 0 to 60 miles an hour is 3.5 seconds. The top speed is about 220 miles an hour, so it is a proper hypercar. It certainly has the looks of a hypercar, but obviously the thing we wanted to see was the first time Aston took a final, or prototype, but final looking car out onto the road, and they did so in April 2010. This was all happening for a magazine photo shoot. Not that many clips, but obviously any 177 out and about on the streets is an absolute delight, even if it was to be quite a long time until the first customer car would be delivered, which I was very, very fortunate enough to spot on the streets of London early this year, 2011. The first 177, I believe, that was filmed over here was just parked on the side of Sloane Street in Knightsbridge late one evening, so that obviously meant I had to get some footage. Amusingly, I only just got it because the owner turned up a few seconds later, although the advantage of that, of course, was that I could have a quick chat and then film him fire up and drive off. How fabulous is the sound of that engine? Although the next car I would film was a few weeks later, at the start of Gumball 3000. It was the car that was to draw the most attention in this year's Gumball, being delivered to the owner just outside the hotel at the first night stop in London. The car is brown underneath, but carried this wrap, this chrome gold red colour, just for the rally. It was wrapped up, and it's quite controversial. A lot of people think it's spectacularly awful. A lot of people think it's spectacularly awesome. The noise that the 177 makes when firing up just makes me absolutely giddy, so you expect to hear it quite a few times. Here is that car inside the garage, booming. The next day, and covered in stickers, the 177 crossed the start line of the Gumball Rally. And then we were off in the convoy for the first leg of Gumball to Paris. Following, of course, in my Vantage Roadster, we then hooked back up over in France with the 177. We met up with the owner and had a little chat and drove with them. However, bad news, I'm afraid. Not long after that, it seemed that the 177 had hit a French police speed trap. So the gendarmes appeared, 2 on motorbikes, surrounded the car, and I'm afraid to say, pulled it over. But it wasn't too bad, just a hefty fine and back on the roads to delight the crowds in Paris. Gumball is an awesome event, as I'm sure you know. You can't not have heard of it if you watch YouTube videos. So stay tuned on the Shmee 150 channel for coverage of the 2012 event across the USA from New York to Los Angeles. It's going to be fantastic. But back on the 177, my next encounter was at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, where they brought another development car and it fired up the hill climb. Next up, at another event at Concours d'Elegance at the Hurlingham Club in London, Aston brought another car that I believe to be their current press car, used in that sort of way. It's a maroony deep red colour, looks really rather nice in my opinion. And we were in luck because the same car would head to a few more events this year, this being at Wilton House. It gave some gratuitous noise. Following summer, Aston did something really quite cool. They had a car, I believe it's going to a customer, but they were holding on to it. So in the meantime, they took it on a little tour of some dealerships around the UK. It's actually, I think, been to some in other countries as well. But I headed down to a dealership near London, Aston Martin Sevenoaks, to have a look at this car. I'm sure I don't need to say again quite how great I think the 177 looks, but obviously we were there and they were just about to move it on and take it back to HQ or onto the next dealership, so we got to film some startups and the car moving around. and just as they were about to leave, I asked the driver if you could fire it up one more time and give us a few little revs. Congratulations to those of you who knew that the 177 had to be the last car. I'm sure that was quite a few of you. Just finishing now with a walk around of this car. It's absolutely stunning. Words cannot describe. I'm sure you agree with me. Designed following various different mathematical rules and proportions, the car just fits absolutely seamlessly. Looks beautiful. Thanks once more to all of those of you who have watched the 12 episodes of Shmee's Top Supercars. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, of course. If you want to recap the 12 episodes, you can click up here and head into the Top Supercars playlist. The cars featured have been the Ferrari 599 GTO, the Koenigsegg Agera, Porsche Carrera GT, Lamborghini Aventador, Bugatti Veyron, Lamborghini LP670-4 Super Veloce, McLaren Mercedes SLR, Koenigsegg CCXR, McLaren F1, Ferrari Enzo, Pagani Zonda, and of course to finish the 177. So once again, thanks for being subscribed, thanks for viewing my videos. I've had fun making these, I hope you've enjoyed watching them. Of course, leave me your comments down below, let me know what you think, and I'll just end wishing you a very happy 2012. Thanks for watching, goodbye.